conspiracy theories.
It's interesting to hear, I mean, Harris today saying, you know, essentially we want to get back to two responsible political parties with disagreements, you know, understandably arguing over what's the best course, which is, I mean, it's strange to hear a person from one party saying, you know, we want an opposite party that is responsible to disagree with us and fight us, but just not the current person who is running that party. I mean, the Republican Party today, the Donald Trump's party, do you recognize it as the party? Did you grow up in a Republican family? Did you grow up, I mean, did you always view yourself as a Republican? Does it look like the Republican Party you remember at all?
I grew up in a very apolitical family. I was the first person in my family to graduate college, but at that point I had identified as a Republican. The first Republican that I had felt really that I could relate to was Mitt Romney. That was the first presidential election that I felt invigorated by and what drew me into politics. The Republican Party today is, in my view, completely unrecognizable from what it was 10, 12 years ago. It's been completely warped and tarnished in Donald Trump's image, and he has essentially elected a body of enablers in both the House and the Senate to do his bidding. So as important as it is for us to focus on ensuring that he does not ever get near the Oval Office again in this next presidential election, we also have to focus on Congress, because if there is a chance that he wins, we need to make sure that there are not Republicans in Congress who are there to actually enact his agenda, which we don't know exactly what it will be, but it's increasingly more dangerous.
It is stunning to me, just the sheer number of people who worked in the Trump White House, in the cabinet, former chief of staff, I mean, generals who, you know, are publicly saying, like, this, he is not qualified to be president of the United States.
It's stunning. And I'm not aware of there ever being a period like this in American history. What I say to those people is I'm very grateful that many of them have spoken out. The reason that I personally continue to speak out is because I view it as a moral obligation to myself, because I worked for him. I was very loyal to him. I really believed that he represented the American people, and I was proud to work for him until January 6th, you know, and as this period has passed where I've gained a lot of clarity and I see things now of his character that I had very easily overlooked, and I don't say that with any pride, I'm very ashamed of that in a lot of ways. But when I look at all of that, I see it as my responsibility to continue speaking out, to educate the American people, because they need the information of who they are voting for. So whether people worked for Donald Trump, were friends with Donald Trump, had done business with Donald Trump, it's our responsibility to keep a megaphone to this, because especially through election day, because this can't be lost.
Cassidy Hutchinson, thank you so much. Really nice to talk to you.
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.